So why do we find it so difficult to change? If we have such a lot of willpower, why do we consistently fail? To answer that question, we need to look at our conditioning, or our rewiring, or our reprogramming. I prefer the word reprogramming because that's much easier for me to explain. So let's take a PC and your cell phone as an example. Now, if it's a Windows PC and an Android phone, then those two are operating systems. What you see is the result of the programming of that PC or that cell phone. The operating system will run in the background. So that would be coded, and it will be written in programming language, and what you see will not be the coding and the programming. In the case of us, as humans, our operating system is our subconscious. When I say that the main reason that we cannot change is that there is a problem with our programming. How do we fix that? I said I'm going to keep this very, very practical as I can. On the whiteboard behind me, you'll see there is something called the circle of evil or joy. And then within that circle, there are circles within circles. I will explain that soon. To give you an example of what I mean by the incorrect programming, I failed to stop smoking twice. Now, the first attempt, I told myself, I really want to stop smoking. And that's what I said. I said, I want to stop smoking. I'm going to have the willpower. I'm just going to put this stuff down, and that will be the end of it. It wasn't. It wasn't by a long, long shot the end of it. Asking myself, why did I fail? What went wrong? Was it the willpower? And then I started realizing, because I've got all the theory and stuff, but I'm also human and I still make mistakes. But I did realize that I needed to reprogram my subconscious mind so that I can change what is happening on the outside. You have to change internally to affect that change on the outside. Now, my thinking about stopping the smoking was entirely wrong. I then realized that I don't want to stop smoking, I want to stop being addicted to nicotine. Because the smoking is only the effect. It is the nicotine addiction that is the problem. That's the core problem. And as soon as I can sort out my addiction to nicotine, the smoking will stop. Because it's only an effect. It is not the cause. I tried the second time with that in mind, and I said, okay, I'm addicted to nicotine. I'm going to kick this habit. Here I want to tell you that in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, the first step is for people to get onto the podium and say, hi, my name is Blackie and I'm an alcoholic. Now, that was for me the same. It's the same with all addictions. My first step was to say, listen, I am an addict. I am really addicted to cigarettes because of nicotine addiction. I then told myself, okay, I'm addicted. This is it. Now I'm going to stop because now I know what's wrong with me. Nope, that didn't work at all. As a matter of fact, it actually became worse. I went from something like 40 a day to 60. And man, I present this stuff. I've been presenting courses my entire life about change. And I just couldn't kick this habit. and I didn't know what on earth was wrong. Then I started telling myself, I am a healthy non-smoker. I was still smoking 60 a day, but I said I am a healthy non-smoker. And then here, inside, that started the process of change. I became what I was thinking about. This is crucially important for you to know now, that you will become what you think about. This is why this is crucially important that we will get to now. And I'll give you other examples about weight loss or getting more money and more financial stability in your life. And I will explain to you why that may not be working for you now and how to change that. Now, I had to change my core belief about my addiction, and then I changed. Now, let's quickly have a look at this board. If you believe that you don't deserve much in life, that would be a core belief. Okay, so whenever something good happens to you, you will have a tendency to self-sabotage yourself. Now, we all do that from time to time. Now, what I'm getting at is your core belief is inside of the circle that's made up of wider circles. The wider circles are other related beliefs, then habits and perceptions, and then all of that parceled together makes you, and that is what your reality will be like. That is what you will action in the world. You will action exactly what your programming tells you to do. That's why, if you want to change, we need to change our programming. We need to sort this out first. How do we do that? Well, let's look at programming that computer or programming that Android phone. What do you need to do before you can reprogram? This is where a lot of self-development and self-help, as far as I'm concerned, they get it very, very wrong. It is my opinion and my belief after years of doing this that it is necessary first and foremost, if you want to write a new program, you need to delete the old one. You need to totally get rid of that. If that program still runs in the background, you will not change. You need to delete that program. How do we do that? Well, this is module 2 of a new you. In module 1, I spoke about having the workbook. Now, I'm going to give you some examples of specific changes that you may want to affect in your life, and I'll give you some examples of the negative beliefs that you may be holding within your operating system that is avoiding you from changing. Now, let's have a look at weight loss. One of the beliefs that you may be holding, you might be telling yourself subconsciously that, I'm just never going to lose weight because my entire family is obese. We all have big bone structures. What about money? What negative beliefs do you have about money that you don't even know may be holding you back? Do you believe that, as I was told when I grew up, I was told that money doesn't grow on trees? Now, all of a sudden in your mind you go, okay, but money is rare, it's not abundant. And I spent half my life living that belief out. I never had money because because I believed that it was not abundant. It was rare. So just to recap, core beliefs are those ones that will influence all the other ones. So those are the ones that we need to focus on. The specific ones that you need to concentrate on now are those beliefs that will affect whatever you want to change. So if you want to concentrate on weight loss, then you need to dig in and in your workbook find out exactly what beliefs are holding you back from losing the weight. If you want to get more money, then you need to find out those negative beliefs that are holding you back. In the next module, I'll look at core beliefs and I'll look at habits and perceptions and how that may be holding you back. I'll see you in module 3.